I'm just going to see if I can make you less wonky. There we go. I think that's better. How are you? I have literally just been live and I have done this video already, and then I stupidly deleted the video instead of posting it. So you don't know what's going on. So I decided to do this video again, and let's talk about today pricing. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Coach Kelly and I run a pole and aerial studio, and I have done for the last 4 years now. I have got it up to a 6-figure business, which is something that I never imagined achieving, and I've got no business background, so if I can do it, you can do it, and I just wanted to share what I'm doing. Pretty much every day I'm doing something different, so I'm trying to share that with you. Hence why it's a 365 Daily Studio Secrets show. So let's talk about pricing and pricing your classes. Now, this is something that I know so many people struggle with, especially if you're new to owning your business, figuring out what to charge. So first things first, what you need to do is sit down, and I'm just going straight into it, guys, so make sure you make some notes. So just grab a bit of pen and paper. The first thing I want you to do is figure out exactly how much it's going to cost you to run your studio for a year. Okay, so figure out from all your insurance, the cost of your equipment, your music license, your personal insurance, all the things you need to think about, and that's obviously just the studio costs itself. Then you've got things of like running a studio, like the cost of like bringing, like marketing is what I'm basically saying. Marketing costs, your time, your planning. You know, because at the end of the day, you've got to price yourself into it if you want to grow your business. So figure out everything you can think of, okay? And then you want to divide that number. So obviously that's your yearly expenses. And you want to divide that by the 52 weeks we have in the year. And then what you want to do from there is, so that'll be your weekly expense. Then you need to figure out your hourly rate, so what you need to be charging minimum. So what you need to do is divide that weekly expense by how many classes you are going to run, okay? Or what you can. You need, if you've not started yet or you're not quite sure, be realistic, okay? And most of the time people will be coming in the evenings, because people work 9 to 5 most of the time, and evenings are more convenient for people. So you know, you couldn't write that you couldn't put down that you're doing 10 classes a day and have 12 students in each, because that's just not realistic. So you need to figure out when people are going to come to your classes, when you're available, and be realistic about your timetable. So once you've figured out how many classes per week you're going to run, you're going to divide your weekly expense with how many classes you're going to run. And then that's going to be your hourly rate, okay? So that's how much you need to bring in per hour to run, okay? So it's just to run at a minimum. So once you've got that minimum hourly cost, you can divide that cost by how many students you'll have in a class. So if you can only have 12 students in the class, you can divide that number by 12. I hope that makes sense so far. That will then be your minimum that you need to be charging per person. Yeah? So once you've got your cost per person, okay, that's not necessarily what you're going to charge, because that's like, you wouldn't be making any profit because you're only just covering your expenses. So once you've figured out the minimum cost, then what I would recommend you doing is having a look at your competitors, seeing what they're doing, what they're offering, so that you can be unique, okay? I'm really big on not copying anybody else. There's no need to copy. You're a unique person. You can offer something different, and it's definitely what I want you to look at. So not look at your competitors, but in a way that's going to help you grow your business. Does that make sense? So for instance, if it was me, and I do look at my competitors, I can't even say the word at the moment, competitors, I want to know if what they're doing, what's working well for them, so I can actually learn from them, okay? The only way you're going to learn and grow your business is by doing what the people are doing successfully. Does that make sense? So if they're doing something really well, then I want to know, you know, how are they doing that? How can I incorporate that into my business? Also, in the same aspect, what they're not doing so well, and what you can jump in there with. So if they're not doing something as well, you can actually take that and go, right, I'm going to make that really awesome, so I'm giving so much value to my customers that we're going to be the best in whatever that could be. Okay, so I'm more my studio is definitely more a fitness type studio rather than a dance studio. We don't do much choreography or anything like that. We do a little bit of combos and stuff, but it's definitely more the fitness gymnastic side of pole, which is what I love. And then you've obviously got other people that will do the sexy side and the exotic side and have burlesque classes, which is amazing, and that's their unique selling point. So you need to figure out what your unique selling point is going to be, and then you can put a price on it. Now, what you shouldn't do is copy somebody else's pricing structure. You should be unique in that as well, and make sure that you're not the cheapest. Okay, don't market yourself as the cheapest, because if your unique selling point is that you're the cheapest school in your area, that's not going to do your business very well. Okay, somebody else might go, okay, I want to start pole classes, and then make them cheaper than yours. That's going to make you're just going to be blended in then, because your unique selling point, your USP, is no longer the cheapest class or the cheapest studio in your area. Okay. Also, when you offer something really super cheap, you tend to get cheap people, if that makes any sense. So you're gonna be attracting those that just don't want to pay what you should be valuing yourself. They don't value you, they just want something cheap. They're the ones that always complain as well. They're just the ones that give you headaches, guys. We need to get rid of that from the start. Don't even go there. Learn from me. I marketed myself as one of the cheapest studios in my area when I started, because I thought, well, I've got no experience. It was a way to promote, like to get myself out there, and pretty much I have no students. I think I have one or two. No, from when I first started, I had loads of students in a particular market, which is obviously because it was the cheapest option. And from now, I probably have just one or two from those years ago. And that's just because, like, when I increased my prices, they didn't like it. Okay, so they were the ones that I had massive complaints. I had a massive headache from it. I was so stressed out and I was completely burnt out. I was working my ass off and not giving myself a break. They didn't allow me to have a break. They didn't value me, and I got myself like really tearful. I was like, why am I doing this? This is crazy. So I looked at some business coaching, and I spoke to one of my business coaches, and she went, you need to up your prices. I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and it was the best decision that I did. Okay, I did lose some students, and don't be afraid that you might lose some students if you start to, but my God, I brought so many more students in at a higher price. They valued me. They didn't really question the price. It was really eye-opening that you can create more business for yourself, because I suppose it's how people look at you. So if you can hear footsteps, by the way, I've got my puppy here. She's not a puppy, she's 2 years old now, so she might make an appearance in a minute. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, so when I just didn't know, like when I first started, like what price to put, and like I said, I didn't want to put myself like too high, because people didn't know me or anything, but people will value you more if your price is higher. And it's one of those, you know, those, what's the saying where I can't think of that saying where if you pay cheap you have to pay twice as much, or something along those lines, and it's really, really true. So you get what you're given, basically. So if you're offering a cheap service, people will probably look at you and go, well, why are they cheap? Like, what are they not doing? I don't want to go there. And obviously you'll be turning people away, and you don't want to be doing that. Also, I'm pretty much the most expensive studio in my area now. I'll have to double check that, and I'm fine with that. Like, somebody has to be the most expensive. Why can't it be you? Yeah. So definitely look into it. I'm just having a look down on my notes because I just write some things to make sure I covered everything. So working out your hourly rate by dividing the whole yearly expense by 52 weeks, and then divide it by how many classes that you're running. Look at your competitors, find out what they're doing well, what they're not doing so well, where you can position yourself in the market, and your unique selling point, finding out what you are going to be good at giving to your students so that you can get the most out of your business, rather than just, you don't want to blend in, you want to be the face of your area, I suppose, and you can totally do that, but you need to be unique in your sales and marketing and offer something that the other studios aren't offering, giving them total value, and you're going to have raving fans. I get so much more business from word of mouth, even though I do a lot of Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising is amazing. If you've tried Facebook advertising and you haven't mastered it yet, or haven't got something to work for you, let me know. I'm actually giving away one of my ads, that my successful ad, I'm just giving away to actually prove to you that it does work, so you can just use it to adapt it into your business and put it out there and let me know how it goes for you, because I'd be really interested to know if it will work for all businesses. It should, because we're in the same business, we're in a studio and aerial business, so you can just adapt it to your target market and then let me know. So yeah guys, that's how you want to price, and go from there. Like, don't be the cheapest. You've got to make a profit, you've got to make a living, guys. Don't go struggling, there's no need for it. And if you can get your marketing right, which is generally the main thing, you shouldn't ever struggle to bring in new customers into your business. So yeah, okay, right, I'm off. See you later.